welcome as we begin a brand new journey into a new and distant land, the world of Philodoxia. And we find ourselves within the small village of Krivo. And we find a young man of the third tribe, who is the son of the noble running the village. Shawn, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Yeah, so if you've seen the Decay or Defiance playthrough, you probably know who I am, but if not, my name's Shawn. And I am going to be playing, as described, a son of a noble, and his name is Glacignitos Ignetria, but that's way too much to say 24/7, so he just goes by Glass. So, so that is who I'm going to be playing on this playthrough.
All right. And as you know, it's an average day. You're stumbling through the village. Well, not stumbling, but, heading through the village, helping out the people as you pass. And then you spot one of your friends, a man by the name of Dimitri. He's a little bit older than you, maybe a little bit wiser. Maybe not the stat wise.
My wisdom's pretty damn good.
But in terms of knowledge, he may be a bit wiser. And he's typically the one that goes out with you on your trade runs that you do for the village, where you guys travel from Krivo to Ront, which is an area. It's a ruined village, a bit to the east. You guys normally cut through the woods. Typically, travel would happen. You'd have to go around. It'd be multiple days, but you guys typically cut through the woods since you're locals to the area, and you can get there in about a day. And you guys typically trade with people from the underground, as the giant tower in Ront has a underground passage that goes into the massive cavern systems underneath.
Cool.
And so you guys are planning on taking another one of these trading trips that's lined up, and it will happen not tomorrow, but the day after. But for today, the two of you are planning on going out into the field for a bit of training.
Perfect.
So, as you sort of approach Dimitri, he asks if you are prepared to head out.
Of course I am. I'm waiting all day for this.
All right, and as you and your friend begin to head off, you arrive at the training grounds, where the two of you have a small sort of campsite set up with your packs, a small cooking area, and you guys begin to prepare for a bit of sparring.
All right. So, first thing I'm going to do, using my handy-dandy basic staff, is I'm going to just launch an attack to try to almost just like jab him in the chest.
Roll initiative.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, he has a 12. An
Oh.
11. Okay,
Wait,
so
no, I have a +1 on that. Mine's a 12 also.
Okay, then we'll re-roll. Or actually, he'll let you go first.
Okay.
He chooses to let you go first because he's sort of like training you, as he is a good bit older. He's sort of a friend of the family, friend of your father's.
Okay.
So he's sort of letting you sort of get some training in, since you've been tied up in this village. Really, the only time you've left the village is to go on these trade sort of route adventures with him and a couple other people in the village. Sometimes your father, but you don't have too much exposure outside. So he's letting you get your training. So he lets you go first.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is try to like almost jab him in the chest with it to...
You should be able to move your icon, so you can go for that.
Perfect. W. Oh, that's the whole thing. You sure? There we go, cool. So I'll move in a little bit closer. And then I'll go to jab him kind of in the chest with the staff.
Okay,
and then
the roll. 15, yeah, you do hit him. Okay, roll for damage. Is that with your dex?
It would be a 3.
Okay. Because this isn't like a full-on, like, great staff. This is just a small staff that you can sort of maneuver around quickly. It's sort of like a pole arm, almost. Okay. So sort of like a spear without the point. So you deal 3 damage to him. And yeah, you do sort of knock him off balance, and he is sort of taken aback by your strike. And he will make a strike of his own. Go ahead. Negatory, just copy and paste rolls. A 19, that's definitely a hit.
Yeah, mine's an 11.
Okay, he rolled minimum damage. He still gets 3.
Hold up, that's a crit failure. That's a 1.
So you can't get a critical failure on your damage. That's just rolling minimum. So if you
do,
he does 3 damage because he rolled a 1 and then he got 2 for his strength modifier.
Okay, so on my health, am I down to 7 now?
Yeah, so you'll take off 3 health. Yeah, this is a very new system for us. We're trying out, so if things are moving a bit slow, it's because we're getting used to the mechanics.
A little bit more in depth than its doored counterpart. Okay, cool. Since he did that, what I'm going to do now is go to sweep his legs.
Okay.
And yeah. Do I need to reroll for his armor class every single time? Yeah.
Yes. You'll make an attack roll every time.
Cool.
The attack roll will always be the first roll you do during any kind of encounter. So a 10 does hit. Normally it wouldn't with his stats, but for this battle his AC is lowered since it's just training. So that does hit. So roll for damage.
Damn.
Okay, you do an additional 2 damage to him. And yeah, you hit him in the leg. You don't leg sweep him, but you do sort of whack him in the leg, and it kind of has him he's taken aback.
Mm-hmm.
And his shin hurts a bit.
All right.
Okay, a 12, I believe that does hit you, yes?
1 over, yeah.
Okay, yeah, 4 damage.
Okay.
And by the way, this encounter, it's sort of 50-50 about whether you win or lose. It just depends on how things go. If you die, you do not die.
I figured as much. All right.
Okay, 18.
Now what I'm going to do is to smack him in the rib and then quickly smack him in the face.
Okay.
I got a 3
for max damage. So yeah, you hit him in the rib and then immediately swing it upward and hit him in the jaw, and it knocks him back onto the ground, and you have won the encounter. And
throw that in the chat real quick.
W in the chat. And yeah, he begins to stand up.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so you guys have finished your training session and head back to the village as the day comes to a close.
Whip that ass is what I did.
And from your victory, you feel as though you've gained a bit of strength. Add 1 point in strength.
Hey.
Also, for everyone out there, this is not D&D's point system where it's out of 20. This is out of 100. And it's reduced. He couldn't roll a D100. His stats are a bit lower because this is meant to be more of a long-term sort of RPG campaign where the point is for him to grow a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then am I assuming that my health goes back up?
Yes, you do receive a rest during the night.
Perfect.
Okay, so the next day approaches and you wake up.
I do indeed wake up.
And you look around the village. You know that tomorrow is the big trade route, trade, where you and him will go out to Rouen to meet with the people of Tribe 5, the Equites, to, trade what the village has with what they have from the underground.
Yes,
So,
and it should be noted as well. I realized I didn't say this. I am part of Tribe 3, the Dynamic. I realized I didn't say
yes,
that.
this is a village of the Dynami, whichever you prefer. We're not being any particular about it. But so you know that tomorrow, the 14th, is when you go on this trade route. So the 13th is your time. So you can choose what you'd like to do around the village.
So first, I'm just gonna go work on my spells that I can use.
Okay, yeah, sure. So you go out and you begin. Are you doing that like at your place, or are you like going somewhere in particular?
I'll go back to the training grounds, obviously. That's where I'll probably work on the majority of my stuff, because I don't want to be using I don't want to do anything in like the village that could potentially damage stuff, so I'll go just outside of it.
So are you going out just by yourself?
I mean, I don't know if there's necessarily anyone that could particularly help me with this, so I'll probably just go by myself and try to home it in.
So you begin. You head out to the training grounds and you begin working on your spellcraft. Go ahead and give me some rolls. So give me a spell roll for you casting your spell.
Okey-dokey.
So give me the spell you're using, which obviously you only have one, but just that way everyone else knows. Go ahead and give me your spell, and give me the roll for it. And we'll say you're just practicing it on like a stump or a tree or something.
Got him. Oh.
You gotta do the attack roll first.
Oh, I didn't know I was like actually.
Okay. Yeah. We're treating this as an actual like battle.
Okay.
It's just the thing that you're fighting isn't fighting back.
Okay.
Okay. So because you're fighting an inanimate object, a 5 does hit. Okay.
Perfect.
And we'll just use the one you've already rolled, unless you want to roll it again.
It's fine. We'll use that.
Okay. So, and keep in mind, for the damage roll, you do not add modifier.
At all?
For spells, it is just the spell.
Okay, cool. So then I got it to 3.
Okay, so yeah. And you see, as your magic's a bit different from everyone else in the village, as there's a lot of fire, ice, earth, lightning, a whole lot, but there's not anyone with your kind of magic, as you use your magic to sort of drain the life, as you see the stump begin to rot, as you deal 3 necrotic damage to the stump.
W. Okay.
And you spend the rest of the day practicing your magic. And you feel you're on the cusp of something, but you're not quite there yet, as you begin to head back to the village.
Okay.
And the day arrives for you to head out for this trading mission. As you and your friend, Dimitri, begin heading out through the woods. And you guys arrive in Rouen as it's pretty late in the day. And as you guys arrive, you see that there's already 2 Equites waiting for you there.
Perfect.
Okay, and you are leading the operation, since you are the person in charge.
Well, since obviously we both knew about it, I'm just gonna kind of wave them over and we'll start trading.
And since it's the village from your story, you can make whatever your guys' trading good, you can make it whatever you want. And you're trading these guys for their magic gemstones that they harvest from the underground.
Cool. For us being in kind of where we're located, we hunt a lot, obviously, so just food and more supplies like that, since the area that they're in seems kind of barren. Because you said they're literally like living in like the castle type area because the cave that's there.
No. So if you zoom in on that little tower, it has a cave entrance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That
They
just
live
goes
in
to
cave.
that goes like the massive underground area.
So they live all across like the castle ruins over there, or they from the cave.
So the underground is basically like an entirely different map where there are towns and cities underground. It's like
Yeah,
a
yeah. I'm
whole
more just
thing down there.
yeah. I'm just asking where they live so I can assume
They
what
just
resources
live
they have
they just
around them.
live in a underground town.
Okay, so they live in the underground.
Yeah, now
Got it.
there are things for them to hunt and eat down there, so they're not like starving and then they need food from the surface. If you want, they could be trading for food from the surface, but like they're not desperate for it, if you get what I mean. Like
No, yeah.
it's self-sustaining down there, but they may be trading because it may be more exotic food to them.
Yeah, we'll trade for that just based off of we'll trade like pelts and things like that because I imagine we're gonna have a lot more that we can get up here than they have down there. Obviously, not having
Right.
been there, so we'll trade them like pelts and like just certain meats that they usually typically get from us, food, things like that we have a lot of.
Okay, sure. And as you approach, you begin to sort of unveil what you guys have brought. And the man looks to you and says, yes, we trade at the standard rate, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go ahead and give me a charisma roll.
Flat charisma roll.
Yeah, flat charisma roll. Depending on what you said, it might have turned into like a persuasion or a deception, but you're just going along with it, so this will just be a low difficulty. Yeah, so as you say, yeah, you sort of recognize that you guys are sort of getting the short end of the stick in the trade negotiations, as you guys are having to turn over a lot of sort of food, pelts, all that sort of stuff you guys can gather in the woods, and you're not getting a whole lot of gems in return, but it's really your guys' only source to getting any of that stuff, so there's not really much you can do about it.
Okay.
And so you guys turn over all these large amount of pelts and only receive a few elemental stones.
Yeah, we've been trading with them for a while, so I'm sure we'll get it. It's just they don't have a lot this time. That's fine.
And so, as you see, the man begins giving a strange look to the distance. The man that was with the Ectes man that you were trading with, his sort of bodyguard, is sort of looking into the distance with a strange look on his face.
Is everything all right?
As Dimitri turns to look at it too, and then he points to it, as you see there is smoke in the distance, coming from the direction of the village.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say let's wrap this up. We need to get back now.
All right, and the Ectes man says it's good doing business, and he wishes that nothing terrible has happened, and that he will see you again soon, as him and his bodyguard begin entering into the underground system.
Me too. I hope nothing happens.
So you guys begin heading down towards the sea, but before you get to the village, Dimitri stops you, as you guys can pretty easily tell that the village has been attacked and it looks like it's been mostly destroyed. By the time you guys are getting here, it's like basically it's nighttime now.
Okay.
It's very late, because normally you guys will get there and you'll camp out there in Rouen before coming back, but you guys obviously hurried back. He says that you shouldn't go, and that instead you should go to Protos in order to plead for reinforcements, like royal reinforcements from the royal guard. Because it doesn't seem like what's happened. From what you guys can see, it looks like things have gone very bad in the village.
How close am I, you said? Pretty far out?
To the village, or to...
Yeah, like, could I get there? Like, how far away?
You guys are very... Like, if you look on the map, that you guys are at where the flag is.
Okay,
You guys
cool,
are
cool,
very close now. It is nightfall. You guys traveled all afternoon and night. So the attack's been going on for a while, and it seems as though things are extremely bad. And so he's saying that you should not go because of how dangerous it is. but the choice is yours about whether he's going to go check on survivors and to check on your father. He's pressing you to go to Protos to request reinforcements.
You know what? I will take his advice on that. How far away is how many days travel?
So you are on foot. So the campsites, every campsite is a day of travel. So the distance between them is a day. By carriage, you are on foot though. So basically every 2 tacks would be a day for you. So this would be a very long journey.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm going in then. By the time I got there on foot, everybody could be wiped out already. And I'm the keeper of this artifact in my village. I need to make sure that everything's okay with that. I can't abandon my duties just because something happened in the village. So I'm going in with them.
Okay, and you guys begin to approach the village as roll for stealth.
Mm-mm.
15. Yeah, so you guys managed to duck behind a house as you see tons of bodies all over the place. It looks like pretty much no one has survived, and you do see some guards. Now, their attire isn't quite like a royal guard, of which you've only seen 1 or 2 as they've passed through along all the roads nearby. They've never actually visited the city since, your town is meant to be more hidden as you're safeguarding a powerful artifact.
Mm.
But you see that their attire is very similar. Not quite the same, but very similar to a standard, night guard, right? They have, the metal armor and all that, with, the insignias.
Okay.
It's just not quite the same as a royal guard. But it seems as though they were the ones who have done whatever this is. Give me a perception roll.
Oh yeah, whoops. God damn.
Yeah, so as you're looking around, which there is information you're going to be getting, this was for additional information. So as you look around, you see that there's sort of still smoke and ember that's sort of obstructing your vision a bit, but what you can make out is that there's a very large man in black armor who sort of seems to be commanding everyone here, all the enemy, all these guards, all these soldiers, I guess you could say. He's commanding them. You can't make out what he's saying though, but he is talking to another man who's wearing a sort of dull red cloak. So you can't make out his face or any features about this person, but there's someone wearing this red robe who's on a horse, and they're talking for a bit before the man rides off, and the man in the black suit of armor begins walking away. And the man who's
away,
on the horse...
towards me?
No. So you are sort of at the edge of the village against, the corner of, a house sort of peering around. They're heading as if they're leaving the village, as it appears as though everything is destroyed.
Okay.
You can choose what you'd like to, what course of action you'd like to take.
I'm gonna go fucking kill that guy is what I'm gonna do.
Okay,
but can I get to him still in stealth? Because he's leaving the village right around here.
Unlikely.
He's leaving right around here.
So the man on the horse is already fully gone. The man in the black armor is heading towards a carriage. You could get there, but there are several soldiers around him. I am not going to give you full details just because of your perception roll. Passive perception, you have a +1 on it. So I'll give you... You can tell that there's multiple soldiers. Probably, from what you can tell, you can guarantee there's going to be at least 4 or 5.
What does Dimitri think?
So Dimitri thinks that the best course of action would be to get out of here for now and come up with a plan away from the village, as there's not really much you guys can do. You guys are heavily outnumbered, outgunned, because they have much better equipment than you guys. So the best course of action is probably to just leave for now.
Mm,
And he suggests that you guys... So your perception didn't pick it out, his perception does. Is that he noticed that there was a box that the man who's already gone, he was holding a box. He can't know for sure, but it's pretty likely that that's the reason why the village was hit. As the only people in the village who knew about the artifact were you, your father, your mother, your younger brother, and Dimitri.
From my family and Dimitri.
So that was it. No one else in the village knew, and there's not really anything else in the village. So unless this was just a random hit for some kind of other means, it's exceedingly likely that that's what this was for.
Okay. Are there any stragglers that are away from everyone else?
No, the soldiers seem to have, because it took you a long time to get there. It seemed like most of their dirty work's already done, and they're preparing to leave, and so they've already sort of grouped up towards the center of the village.
You're not making it easy for me to murder somebody. You know that, right? All right. Well, yeah, we kind of outnumbered, so I guess we gotta go back for now.
Okay, and you guys head out into the woods before having to stop to camp. And as you guys are camping, Dimitri asks what course you're wanting to take.
Well, am I able to tell which direction the guy that was riding away with the box is?
No, all you know is that he took this sort of path back to the main road. You don't know whether he went north, south. It's impossible to tell.
If I had to guess, he's gonna avoid.
You could potentially go there and see if you can pick up on the tracks, but it would probably be pretty difficult to discern, because was this, you don't know
what horse it's from.
What was this military commander guy? Was he going the same place? Did they split up?
I'm gonna assume that whomever it is, they look like they're in some sort of like royal stuff. I'm gonna assume if he has that artifact, he's not gonna go towards a big village because he doesn't want to risk a couple days travel. Probably gonna want to go somewhere more secluded, so I'm assuming he probably went up to Protos. So I'm gonna say we head to Protos to see if anybody's seen anything.
All right, so Dimitri poses something to you.
We could also go ask the people of Tribe 5 for help, since we traded with them for a long time.
So Dimitri says that he actually suggests splitting up, not on a permanent basis, but because you guys need to sort of reach out to the few allies. Even though you're noble, your house is a noble house, it's pretty unknown and obscure. And especially now with, the main holding in their county being destroyed, they're basically a fallen house now. So Dimitri suggests that you guys set out to sort of pick up on what little allies you might potentially have, because this seems like there's something bigger going on here. So he suggests splitting up, where he will head to the west to talk with your guys' contacts there, which you've never been there yourself, but you have heard your father talk about some friends that he had over there. Well, he says that you ride travel north towards Protos, because you guys have more allies there that you might be able to rally.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that, but first thing I'm gonna do, I'll do that. I'm gonna go to Ruan and see if anybody from Tribe 5, because we're very friendly with them over there through the trade that we've been doing, let them know of the situation. and see if they can offer a hand anywhere or keep an ear out since they're from the Undercity. Just kind of spread the word and see if there's anything that can be information they can get or people that they can spare to come help.
Sure. And so, do you request for Dimitri to come with you for this trip to Rouen, or do you go ahead and split up?
He can start his journey now.
Okay, so he begins heading west through the forest where he's going to travel sort of this path, and then once he's on the road, he'll actually take the road.
Cool. Before he leaves, is there anything I can give him to prove that he's like of our house? Like, do I have like a crest?
Well, we'll say that because he's an extremely close association. So basically the way that the culture will work in this world is that if you are of the noble family, you will wear their symbol on your chest. Now whether that's, you know, a sort of like a small like emblem like above like the breast, or whether that's like a large insignia across your entire like, you know, chest piece, you know, is kind of up to whatever you're wearing at the time. But typically your clothing will sort of reflect that. If you work for them or have close association, you will wear it on your sleeve. So sort of like on like the tricep, bicep, you know, shoulder, that sort of region.
But you said he was really close to us.
He's really close, so he's wearing it on his sleeve.
Okay.
Because he serves your guys' family.
All right. Then.
So he already has.
He has stuff. Well, then we'll just go on our journeys then.
Okay, and you begin to head to Rouen in the morning, so it is now the 15th. And you arrive in Rouen after traveling for a bit, because you guys did rest and then you split up in the morning.
Okay, perfect.
And as you approach, you see that there is obviously no one here because it's a destroyed village, but as you approach the actual entrance to the underground, you see that it appears to be sort of blocked off from the inside. You're unsure whether it's always this way since you've never really tried going down. So that way, like, maybe it's like something that is from the inside that they use, like maybe someone with earth magic sort of sealing it or not. But,
side note, do I have some of the gemstones that we traded with? Because they obviously didn't make it to the fucking village.
Yes, we'll say that you have 4 lesser gemstones, which for you that's probably not really helpful, but now that you can't really do anything with it, it might be worth a bit of money if you try selling them, or you could try to find some other use for them. But yes, we'll say that you do have 4 lesser stones. Yeah, and they're not any specific element right now, they're just basic gems.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'm gonna knock.
Okay, you walk through the entrance of the tower and enter the sort of cave, sort of staircasing. As you begin to sort of knock on the stone before going to hit it, as it seems as though no one's around to hear it. It seems as though it only opens from whenever someone approaches, they would use their magic to open.
And you said it's made of wood or what?
It's made of stone. Basically, it's a cave entrance, and there's a giant boulder blocking the path.
Can I try? I don't know. Would my spell potentially, like, crumble it to where it would just, like, decay the rock almost?
You
Obviously
can
not, like, rot away at a tree, but...
You can try, but considering that it's a rock, decaying it is probably
I'm wondering
not
if
going to
I
do
can
much.
like wear it down.
You can try. I'll say you can cast your spell on it if you so choose.
I'm trying to see what it is that I can do to potentially get around.
But I'm going to say necrotic is probably not going to have much.
It has to be
effect.
something that has life. A rock isn't alive, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be alive.
No,
but
I know what you mean.
Stone, I would say, probably wouldn't work. I would say stone would be immune to necrotic damage. In the same way that the opposite would be true as well. It'd be immune to holy damage.
And there's no other ways to get in. Like, I couldn't potentially bust a hole in, like, a different area.
with the equipment you have, I would say no. So maybe something to note down for later, but as of right now, I would say you probably don't have any magic or equipment that could get you in.
Okay. Then, what days do we usually go trading?
I would say it's normally like, I would say probably like every like 7-ish days.
Okay, so the next trading day would.
So I would say it would happen on like the 7th, the
20th.
14th, the 21st, and the 28th. And we're saying to simplify things, for this, we still use the 12-month calendar, but every month is 30 days flat. So that way there's not any of the like, oh, well, this one's only 29, this one's 31. It's all, every month is 30 days.
All right, well, then I'll just start heading over to Protos.
All right, and so as you exit the cave, you also I add the quest marker to Protos.
Yep.
Just make sure that it's visible to you. Yeah, so you begin to head towards there, and you begin traveling. As like I said, 2 ticks will be about a day, so the day will transition to the 16th. If you were down anything, then you can restore it now. We'll say that you're sort of sticking to the woods. It'll still be same distance, but you're sticking to the woods for safety. Let me move this where it's all on the map. As roll perception. Sixteen. So, roll stealth. If you fail the stuff, I will still give you something for getting good perception.
14.
Okay, yeah, so as you find yourself here, you are hiding behind this tree, as this is what you see as you are in stealth. I don't know how you added those little token things. I was going to add one to signify you're in stealth, but I don't know how to do that. So,
Add token things?
yeah, you had like the little thing in the little icon in the corner. Doesn't matter. You're in stealth. You're in stealth. But this is the situation. It seems as though these goblins were ready to ambush people.
Okay.
So potentially other people who trade with the Equites in Rwant, or maybe they're just preparing by the road. Maybe they're just passing through. But it seems as though they were ready that they're ready for an ambush. Or ready to ambush someone. They're not prepared for an actual ambush. But it doesn't seem as though they've noticed you as you managed to duck behind a tree in time.
Cool. This one's gonna be my victim. I'm sneaking up on him.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and you can move your token freely. Well, move by a limit.
I was just gonna move there.
Okay, go ahead and roll for stealth to see if you get caught while approaching. Bless you.
Thank you. Probably.
Yeah, so roll initiative.
I gotta switch this. Copy this instead, because I'm rolling way more d20s now.
Okay. So it equals 2 instead of -2. Yeah, you are definitely before them, and this is their role as a horde.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is pull up on this guy right here. I'm basically gonna speed blitz him. And I'm going to jab the staff into his gut.
Okay.
And then grab him by the head and cast my spell to completely wither his body away.
Okay, so you're
I'm
making a spell
fucking
roll.
angry still. Yeah, do I get combo attacks at all or no?
For right now, no. So are you doing a melee attack or are you casting your spell? If you're casting the spell, then I'll let you move back where you were before you moved up. Since your spell's ranged.
Well, I'm wanting to almost intimidate whenever I do this too. Like I want to literally grab him by his head and just cast the spell with his head in the palm of my hand, and have his body just.
You know what? You're describing it in a really interesting way. You're filled with rage. I'll say that you can make your attack roll at advantage.
Okay. Well, this is the armor class one.
Okay, yeah, that was the one that was at advantage. So, but yeah, 17 definitely hits. So unless you want, I mean, you can roll again to see if you get a crit.
Nah.
But yeah, 17 is definitely a hit. And remember, this is a spell, so it goes off of your wisdom.
You know what? I might as well just roll again to see if I get a crit. Fuck it. No. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, and just keep that in mind that for spells, because it's a natural spell, it's a wisdom roll.
Okay.
So you can
but
just add
that
your
doesn't
wisdom.
apply whenever I cast it. No.
No,
it's a flat roll.
It applies to your attack, not your damage. So your 17 should be an 18. Your 13 would be a 14. It's your damage roll that is not affected. Okay, so you can go ahead and make your damage roll for your spell now. And keep in mind, if you look at your feats on your, I believe it's your equipment. I could be wrong about that. You should have extra bonuses because you're a Denasi.
Yeah, so I get +1 attack and damage roll for necrotic spells, -1 attack to damage from any other magic.
Okay, so that's a +1 on your attack and damage. So you're 17 with your +1 wisdom and your +1 from Denasi is really a 19.
It's a 19.
Your
And
6 gets a +1
is a
because it's necrotic, so you get 7. So just try to keep that in mind when casting spells.
Okay. Cool. So
really,
that's what threw me off too, because whenever I casted it before, I put the +1. Then you said that I couldn't do it, so I was like, well, what the fuck is it used for?
It can't. Yeah, it's not used on the damage. It's used for the attack. The Denami ability goes for both, but your wisdom modifier is only attack. Make sense?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Got it.
But yeah, a 7 is a kill.
Well, I gotta describe it because I'm trying to intimidate these fuckers. Because I'm assuming that they see me. No.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you know he is dead, so you can go ahead and describe it.
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing, I essentially, even though he found me, I run up on him so quick, I grab his arm with the dagger so he can't stab me, and then with my other hand, I grab his head and I lift him in the air, cast my spell, and his body basically just rots to just dead. Like if you saw someone literally just be, like, get the life ripped out of them.
Damn, that's
how you would imagine if somebody basically, like, you just dehydrated a fucking person, like, completely.
That's hardcore.
Like, he's just a skeleton in my hand now.
All right.
And I'm just gonna drop it.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do during your turn?
No, but does that intimidate them at all? Am I able to use that as like an intimidation thing or no?
I'll say, make a performance roll. Or actually, make performance or intimidation, whichever is better. Okay, then just do the same. Yeah, if I say choose one or the other, if they're the same, then you just do both. But it's because, like, yeah, they're both charisma, but you may have had, like, proficiency or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So, 60. Yeah, they're frightened, so they are unable to. They'll receive a -1 on attacks against you now. And we'll say that was your bonus action, was doing that intimidation.
Cool.
Or actually, you know, I'll inflict them with frightened instead of a -1. So frightened, they're not allowed to move, so their movement's reduced to 0.
Okay.
So although they don't want to approach you, they can still do ranged attacks.
Okay.
And now all they have is daggers, so they can just throw a dagger at you.
Is that what they do?
It is what they do. We'll start from right to left. Although the middle one will choose not to do that. A 10, does that hit?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
That's supposed to have a minus... 1 on it, but it's a critical anyway. So now... I wonder if I
That was the
can...
middle one, no? Oh, no, you said he didn't
No,
do
he
it.
doesn't do anything, so this is the far one. I wonder if... Okay, so I'll do... Hold on, I'm doing big brain things to see if it'll let me do this. It does, okay. So if it's a crit, I'll just add a times 2 at the end. So yeah, it does 6 damage to you.
Okay.
And as you see during the environment's turn, you hear someone approaching as you see a small creature appear with a knife that appears to come to your aid.
Okay.
Give me one moment. Okay, that is after you but before them? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, because you're a 10 there too. Okay, yeah. Okay, back to your turn.
Okay. So I am going to.
Also, I don't know if I may have forgot it on your equipment log. You do have 1 potion of healing, which will restore 1d5 of health. That'll take a bonus action to use.
Okay.
I may have forgot to put that on your sheet, but you were supposed to have that.
Okay. I am fucking using it right now. This guy's dying.
Yeah,
so
no, you're good. I was just notifying you. I may have forgotten. I don't. Is it on there?
no.
Okay, then yeah, you can add that in, or you can just remember it.
I'm running over to this guy,
Sure.
and what I'm going to do is take my staff, and I am going to smack him across the face with it.
Sure.
It's actually a 20 because I have the +1.
Okay. Yeah, it's still not a crit, but it is definitely a hit.
Mm-hmm. And now. 1d3. Does fucking nothing.
Okay, yeah, so you do 1 damage, and it does seem to sort of strike it, and it is seemingly pretty affected by it, but is clearly not dead. It is just sort of like disoriented.
And then for the staff and stuff like that, I do get to add on my modifier, so that would be a 2, but it's a crit failure. It doesn't.
Yes,
obviously change.
melee attacks add the modifier.
Only thing is spells. Got it.
Yeah. So, what is your +1?
Yeah, it would just be a +1. But
Okay, yeah,
it's a
so you
crit
do
failure,
2
so it's still a
damage.
1.
Crit failure does not apply to attack. Or it does not apply
Oh.
to damage. It only applies to attack and checks. Does not apply to
okay.
damage.
So
So,
then this is 2.
okay, so you got 2. Okay, yeah, so you see that it actually is pretty affected by this. In case you're wondering, they only have 4 hit points. So, because they are a very low level enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, that was your action. You still have bonus action if you'd like to do anything.
Okay, he's getting hit with the spell too.
Spell would be a full action.
Oh.
Or at least your attacks. Like, basically any kind of attack would be a action unless you have a special, like, thing that notifies it is a bonus.
I'm good. I'll just go.
Okay, so you're just passing?
Mm-hmm.
Or ending, I guess. Okay,
Yeah.
well, next, this creature that you're unfamiliar with is going to approach, and as you see, on their necklace is a gem. It's very clear this creature cannot use magic themselves, but they do power up using this, and they cast Slicer. So first they'll have to roll their attack. Okay, they definitely hit. and they do indeed kill them. And with their bonus action, they will cast a support spell. So attack spells, action, support spell, bonus action.
Got it.
For reference. They will cast support spell. Support spells generally do not require a roll. They just happen. They will cast the support spell Mag on you after they had seen your crazy spell where you drain the life out of them. They will cast Mag on you. What it does is that your next spell will get a +1 to its damage and an extra d4 on its attack. So your attack, to whether you hit or miss, gets a d4. So you'll do d20 plus your wisdom plus a d4. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, and then if you hit, you will get +1 damage.
Okay, so I basically just roll a d20 and then roll a d4.
Yeah.
Cool.
But if you do it in one string, like you see how I did it in a string, it'll calculate the whole thing out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Cool.
that will be, and then they will also, is it? Yeah, so because distance is calculated a lot differently, because I have the map set up differently, we're going to say that 10 squares is distance. So like if you look at it and you start moving, it'll be 10 squares, which is basically 100 foot. Which obviously the feet is not accurate since maps are not to scale, but you can move 10 squares. Which that might
move him or me.
No, I'm just letting you know what movement is.
Okay. It's the goblin's turn.
Yeah, well, they were still doing their movement. Because, like, you still have all those resources. So you can do an attack and still move. Okay, so next will be goblins. We'll do it the same as before, right to left. So this goblin in front of you will go for a attack. Another critical. And that'll do 2 damage because it's a critical. I forgot to do the ×2. I think I'll just do the ×2 retroactively instead of typing it, just because it saves on time.
Okay.
So 2 damage.
And
Not your turn yet. The other goblin still has to go. The
That's
other goblin
right.
is going to run towards this person who has appeared and try to attack them, but will miss. Now it is your go.
roll. 14.
Right.
What do you want to do? Right.
Preferably say what you're doing before you make the roll, just in case there's something like extra information I need to give you, like modifiers.
That was just the attack, and then this, because I'm going to be using the spell.
But what
here.
is okay? So it is spell.
Well, I thought I have to roll to see if I hit him with armor.
No, okay. What I'm saying is, before you do any kind of roll, let me know what you're doing first.
Oh,
So that way I know what
okay,
you're
okay,
doing.
okay.
You know, you
I thought
casting
meant,
the spell
what
is
roll
fine.
I'm doing. I thought you meant like what role I'm doing. I'm like, I'm doing the attack roll that I
Yeah,
that I
no.
gotta do.
Like you just saying like
Okay, no,
hey,
no,
I'm casting Thana. Like I'm casting a spell.
Okay.
Right? So that way I
No,
know
yeah.
what you're rolling for, because otherwise I
No,
don't
yeah.
know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the D4 because I'm gonna be casting Thana from the.
Okay, so that's 14 plus 16. That's
escape.
a hit.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna cast Thana now.
Yeah, so you'll say what you're doing before you even make your attack roll.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a d6, and then you have +1 from the support spell, and you have +1 from Denami.
Oh, so that would be 4.
Yeah, because like I said, that stuff will be added
That's
on.
gonna be so. I gotta get used to it because I'm still so used to.
Yeah,
all
no,
that
you're
shit
good. And also,
before.
you're 14. You get +1 from Wisdom. You also get the Denami there as well. The Denami is on both.
Oh, yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah, your Wisdom is only for against armor. Denami is both. So
Okay,
yeah,
so I
you
think- yeah.
definitely kill this guy if you want to give us some any kind of information. about how it's done?
Since I'm still pissed off, what I'm gonna do is,
And
as I
profusely
went
bleeding.
in for it, I'm basically going to just kick the dagger out of his hand, and then, how tall are these people? Or these goblins? They're not people.
They're goblins, so they're pretty short.
Okay.
I say
Then
somewhere between 3 to 4 foot.
I am going to kick it in the face, and as he crawls away, I am stepping on his spine, breaking it, and grabbing his head and decaying his whole body.
Damn, okay. So yeah, you
I'm fucking angry.
as your boot is on his spine, you grab one of his ears and begin to pull it towards you before putting not even your staff, but your hand straight against the back of his head before it decaying his entire head, as then the skin falls off and his head just clean rips off the neck, and you let go of the ear and drop it as it just turns into decaying rot on the ground.
Yep.
Okay, anything else?
I'm just gonna...
Like you can move, you can do actions that aren't attacks. The bonus
Moving
actions
over
we're
to the
playing a
last
little
goblin.
loose.
Moving towards the
Which
last
movement is probably going to change, where I'll probably increase movement, but for right now, that's...
goblin. Okay. I'm just moving towards this last goblin.
Which, yeah, I'll probably allow just... If you are like, yeah, I want to move around here, I'll probably just, unless it's like an absurd amount.
Yeah.
You don't actually need to be like, okay, yeah, I need to move exactly 10 squares.
Yeah.
We're playing movement a bit fast and loose, just
Cool.
for the sake of fun. Okay, so next will be this person that's with you, who will go for... they will again go for casting Slice. Okay, that is a hit. Okay, yeah, 5 damage, that is a kill. And the fight is over.
Alright. I'm gonna go thank Homie for the help.
Right, and so as you you approach this creature that you've heard people talk about them, but you're not super familiar. But you can tell that it is a Panida of Tribe 7. And as you approach, what do you say?
So I'm assuming you're a Panida? I've never actually seen one before.
And they say, yeah, we're not too frequent around these parts. I was just passing through, thought that you might need some help while I was out here hunting.
Say, yeah, I definitely could have. I really appreciate it. Are you, like, native to this area, or are you just kind of a wandering traveler?
And as you see, as you're asking this, they begin cutting off the ears of the goblins. At least the 2 that weren't rotted. And the ones that are rotted they sort of squish the ears into a bag.
So is that a delicacy for you guys?
A delicacy? No, this is for a bounty.
Oh, okay. What kind of bounty did you pick up where they want goblin ears?
Well, it's not a bounty. It's more of monster elimination.
Oh, okay.
You kill a
So-
monster, claim something from it as proof, you turn it in, you get money.
Oh, well, if there's anything left you can get from the goblins that were back there, you're more than welcome to take it for yourself as a thank you for the assistance.
And you see that as they approach the one that you're standing over that you killed by rotting its head, this person gazes upon your chest piece and sees the noble symbol. for your
Mhm.
house, and they seem almost infatuated by it. But they
Okay.
don't. They're just sort of like gazing awkwardly as you're just kind of standing there.
So you noticed the symbol, did you?
And they sort of snap out of their trance. They're yes, that's yours.
Say, yeah, that's kind of ties into why I'm here. It seems that my house has essentially fallen whenever I was going on a trade route. My village where we resided was raided, and it seems I might be one of the only survivors along with another compatriot of mine. So I'm on my way to go get allies to potentially kind of give just or yeah, to take vengeance on the people that murdered my village.
Hmm. So, where are you heading?
Right now, I'm on my way to Protos. I was recently at Ruant because I had allies that we traded with there, but it seemed that they weren't able to get visitors at the time as there was a giant boulder blocking my path.
Well, I'm actually heading to the capital city, Karan, myself. Maybe we should travel together, at least until Protos.
Yeah, of course. What's your name?
My name is Hista.
Awesome. My name is Glacignitos, but everyone just calls me Glass for short because it's simple.
Quite the noble name.
Yeah, and the last name's Ignetria, if that helps at all for you for the house. We're not very well known much anymore because we took on a silent role for everybody higher up.
Right,
But
and as you guys are talking, you're sort of beginning to walk your way towards Protos as you sort of continue your conversation.
yeah. So yeah. So basically, yeah, that's what we did. We're not as well known as other noble families, but still nobility nonetheless. And it seems I
and
hear
then-
that I may be the head of the house now, in lieu of what happened.
And then she asks, "Fallen house, so no knights?"
Us, no, we don't have knights or anything like that. We were in
Make
Rival?
a history roll.
what the fuck is a history roll?
It
Is that
is-
just intelligence or what the hell is that?
If you look at the skill list, it is, I believe, intelligence.
There's a history. Holy shit! There, I didn't even see you added history on here. Okay.
It's in traditional D&D. I took it off for Dord because it would never
Okay.
be relevant. But it is back because we are back in fantasy.
Fair.
So yeah, if you look at the skills,
Oh.
some skills have moved. 12, yeah. So you do recall that your father telling you, way back in the day before moving out to Krivo, and even for the early part of the village's life cycle, that there were actually knights, but for a few generations, there haven't been any.
So yeah, no knights anymore. A long time ago, maybe, but they've kind of fizzled out over the generations of my house, where we didn't have a use for them. Obviously, up until now, it didn't seem like we needed them. And being on how my village was predominantly or entirely made of Denami, didn't really feel like there was a need due to our affluence with certain elements.
And you see that she seems almost dejected by your answer and just kind of gives a, "Oh."
But what about you? Do you have a village around here? Or do you fly solo? Kind of what's your story? How did you end up over here?
Well, I was from I guess you could call it a village, but we were nomads. And sort of packed up our tents, moved from place to place. I'm heading towards the capital to apply to become a royal guard.
So, well, I am nobility, so who knows? Maybe I could get you a job. Maybe I could be a reference for you. You seem to do a well enough job out here, holding and held up on your own.
Give
I'll
me
put in a good word.
Give me a charisma roll. Actually, give me a persuasion roll.
19.
So yeah, as you begin to talk about, oh well, as nobility, I might be able to put in a good word. You see that she sort of lights up as you know that the Panida, they're a very low tribe, very low class. So the odds of her becoming a royal knight would be exceedingly low. And whenever you say this, it sort of ignites her as she sort of has this sort of passion in her eyes. And you guys continue on for a while before eventually having to set up camp for the night. But as you begin to sort of, the sun's about to set, not quite yet, there's still plenty of light for a little bit. You guys see a carriage that is stopped on the road with what looks like a man sitting up top with 2 men down below with swords drawn.
Seems that a royal guard is needed. Let's go help out.
Alright, and with that, we'll take a short intermission.